Sub 20 kilos and a weak motor was generally the qualification for lightweight e-bikes, but things have become a whole lot more confusing with the introduction of lighter bikes with even more powerful motors and modular battery sizes to suit your ride. So are lightweight e-bikes now pointless? Last year, Cannondale introduced the 20 kilo Modular SL, an 85 Nm Shimano powered bike with a 600 Wh battery and a proper enduro build. Then DJI shocked the mountain bike world with the Amflow PL Carbon, another 20 kilo full powered bike, but this one came with 1000 watts of power, 120 Nm of torque and a 600 or 800 Wh battery from their own Avinox system, leaving engineers from Shimano and Bosch contemplating a change of career. So is there still a market for the low power systems? TQ and Fazua are still producing low power motors that only provide 50 or 60 Nm of torque, just 300 watts of peak power and only have small batteries. Whilst the compact and stealthy nature of these systems lead to an appealing aesthetic that most buyers would naturally gravitate to, they don't provide that outright punch that many e-bike riders crave. Don't get me wrong, when I long-term tested the specialized Levo and Kenevo SLs, I properly fell for the lively and agile handling of both bikes. But to now have the option of a lower weight and more powerful bike, the idea of spending a similar amount of money on a less powerful bike is becoming a bit of a head scratcher. I really enjoyed my time on the Trek Fuel EXe, but I needed to change my attitude to the ride, seeing the bike as more of an MTB plus than a light e-bike and accepting the slower pace of the climbs and leg-burning sufferfest on the really steep climbs. I redeveloped my love for a proper workout on every ride, so maybe there is still a place for these bikes. But then we have the Scott Voltage, a bike I tested last summer in Switzerland, powered by a 50 Nm TQ motor with only 360 Wh of battery. These are still being sold for in excess of £10,000. That's got to be a hard sell for the Scott retailers, and I dread to think of the depreciation on one of these bikes. There's also a strange middle ground where we find bikes with the Bosch SX System, still just 55 Nm of torque, but with 600 watts of peak power. There's a lot more grunt if you can get the legs spinning at the optimum RPM. With 400 Wh of internal battery and the option for a range extender, these bikes are a tempting proposition, but many are barely any lighter than their full fat equivalents, especially if you decide to spec them with proper tyres and a burly set of forks. It seems some manufacturers are even beginning to accept this reality themselves. The new Whyte E-Lyte Evo has been developed from its original Bosch SX powered platform into a more powerful 5th generation CX system with 85 Nm of torque and 600 watts of power, but with a small internal battery. The aesthetics are almost unchanged, and with the option to spec the 250 Wh power more range extender and a water bottle at the same time, you have yourself a really versatile platform. The weight has increased to just over 22 kilos, but the build has also become burlier, and that, I believe, is the sweet spot for e-bikes heading into 2025. The option for a modular battery system that you can choose depending on the ride, with enough power to ensure that any technical climb can be conquered. For me, this is a much more appealing proposition, especially if it comes in a lighter package. So are lightweight e-bikes pointless in 2025? For now, it probably comes down to the price. There's a lot of deals currently on lightweight e-bikes, and whilst I feel like the segment is probably dying a slow death, I think there may be a few more years before we see the end of this category altogether. The lightweight full fat equivalents are mostly a very expensive proposition and out of the reach of most buyers. So for now, don't completely write off the lightweight options, but expect to see the majority of manufacturers turn their attention towards the development of lighter full fat bikes with modular batteries in the coming years. If you'd like to see more wallet crippling bikes like the new Whyte E-Lytes, then check out my pick for most wanted bikes of 2025.